All right, everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining us today. Obviously, yesterday we had some big moves through the squeeze stocks, AMC, GME. I know a lot of you guys are hyped. Can we get some monkeys in the room for the apes because they're back? Or is it actually Wall Street back with them? Let's find out through today's session. There's a lot to go through. We will be doing a little bit of a reduced, condensed session today. So definitely give the upvotes anyway because I'm here today. But there's a little bit of a struggle for me. So we'll be doing a little bit shorter. Tomorrow, we'll be coming back with plenty of info. But don't worry, nothing bad is going to happen. There's plenty to get through. Let's get started. AMC, 20.34%. But GME even more, 27.53%. Let's talk about some key levels here for the trade today. We'll start off with GME because I think it might be a little bit cleaner here. Huge moves up to the 224. I mean, that's a 166 to 224. I did detail in today's video that it was algorithms coming along for the ride. So that's good news. I mean, people have been talking about institutional ownership within GME and AMC rising, I guess, over the last couple of weeks. That seems to have been allowed to go crazy just before the earnings in 2 days. I mean, wow. I don't tend to like GME into earnings, but it's interesting stuff. Let's move here to the resistance. So we've got two resistances. 196 could be a cool zone. 200, I think, is an interesting point to look at here for GME. Go to the smaller time frames. Have a look at how it reacts. You probably, if you're going to be trading options, you almost need that IV to cool off a little bit as well. The IV is so massive due to yesterday's move. That's the implied volatility. It's going to be very expensive now if you've missed out on that boat. And most people like to trade, of course, GME with options, AMC with options. Why do they do it that way? It's all about making sure that you don't take too much risk and you do have that risk adjusted. I like this 196 area. I think it's interesting. I think it's a zone that I expect buyers to come through around that 200. We've got Alan Culler coming in as a new member. Thank you very much, Alan. Give Alan a round of applause. Thank you very much for becoming a member and supporting the channel. Greatly appreciated. Scott Morgan says, anyone jump on the DKNG train yesterday? Well, we'll be taking a look at a few of these, man. So we've got GME first up. I like that level, that 196, 200. If you aren't part of it, if you didn't get past that 170 breach and you didn't see that rally through the session, well, that sucks. But as I've always said with GME and AMC, it's when people stop talking about it that it becomes more interesting. Remember that. So if you're big fans of these ones, that's why. AMC, similar style scenario. We get past 38.63, huge breach past that area. I know it's opening here at 3%. I do expect for it to try to rally into the 52 kind of range, the 52 range being a key zone for it. Support becomes resistance. You guys can see very clearly why that's a great point. It hit the first level, 48. Does it pull back now to 40? I like 40, 50 as a range of possible pullback through the session to check out. This is a key kind of resistance becomes support area. Previous great support over here on the left-hand side. I think that's something that is worthwhile. Now, this opens up the potential for other stocks as well. Of course, DKNG, another one that's interesting and people love this stock at around the same point. Scott Morgan, massive DKNG fan. Congratulations, man. This is a beautiful movement up here. Nice closure. Actually closed above all the other points. And DKNG still has a lot to run with the potential hype. You know, we go through the hype stocks now. Now everybody's suddenly going to be looking, oh, what's going on with CLOV? Is CLOV a great trade? What's going on with SPCE? Is SPCE a good trade? What's going on with marijuana stocks? Are they a good trade? They all tend to have rises. I mean, this is probably a potential sleeper, SPCE. However, you know, take it at your own risk. You guys know I hate this stock with passion. But that being said, there are stocks that tend to ride the AMC GME train. And if things start running, you do tend to see upticks. And I think you need to be aware of when these upticks get out of control. You know, something like SPCE, if it got past $29, $30 range again, could be some big moves to 35, maybe even higher. This to here, interesting zone. I don't particularly like this one, but there's lots and lots and lots of other opportunities for sure. Kevin N says wheat is down today, Tom, 1.43%. Yeah. We've got Art Witz says, an associate says costs. Yep. Another one that's popular with the crowd of the squeeze. Actually, good support here on costs. Look at the previous rallies. There's the June rally up to $42. There's the rally in March. Another very interesting, good area for you to be looking at. Of course, you need that short interest to be there, but look at the range. Look at where it breaks out. It's a good point. $20 makes sense. Nice. I like it. I like it. What's it got? Georgiov says, Scott Morgan, I hope for a lightning bolt today so I can add more. Yeah, so you probably hope for DKNG actually a small pullback there. That had a great roll reversal level on it. 56.47, pullback back down to like a 54, somewhere around here. Pullback, take off. Very nice though. Yeah, excellent stuff. Let's go through the rest of the market here. Let's start off with the US 100, as I know a lot of you guys aren't all in on the idea of the squeeze stocks. And we'll just quickly make sure I'm up to break. Yep, I am. So here's the US 100. Here's the support. Here's the resistance that we've been looking at recently. 15.4 break close above. I think that probably triggers buying pressure into the 15.5 zone or just underneath it. And a closure below 15.307 will be the negative side for the bears. Another possible trade for the session is a 15.3 kind of area hit, and then look for a pickup, smaller time frame scalp day trade. I still think we're in a bit of an interesting market predicament. We do see rallies usually into the end of August, and then that September kind of crunch does begin. Will it be the same this year? Who the hell knows? We don't know. What we are looking for, though, is price action first and foremost. And to get the price action, we need to understand the market's neutralized after yesterday's not big move. We have supports, we have resistances, and we're in the middle of that range right now. Same thing for the US 500. Look at the range bottom, 44.80. Key support, closed below, bad things, bounce off, potential opportunity, close above, 45. Good things, of course, rally for the distance here, which would take you to a little bit higher. So there's some nice scalps, nice day trades if that comes to, eventuation or whatever you want to say, if it actually does come through. SW says GME and AMC holders fail to sell when market tops and then ride it all the way back down. It pays to hold for a while, but in forever, a squeeze stonk. Yes, I understand the different dynamic here. It is a trade. A squeeze stonk is a trade. I know there's people that say diamond hands, we're going to hold it, we're going to do all of these types of things. Hopefully you guys are coming across to my side a little bit here and understand what it is. A lot of people diamond hands it. That's cool. All good if you diamond hands the stonks. Some people have done amazingly well. I think it pays to follow that momentum. When you're trading those stocks, it pays to follow the momentum. You follow it up. And then the problem is it's human nature. People get greedy. Wall Street come in and have an attack. That's the type of thing that just occurs time and time again in the markets. And that's why for many people, it should be in, out, and that's all it is. Now, for the long-term believers, that's cool. If that's your opinion, long-term believers of Tesla have done amazingly well as well. Obviously, different type of scenario, but you get what I'm saying. So sometimes it works out for the long-term holder. Sometimes it works out for the trader. I tend to be on the trader side of AMC and GME. I think that's kind of where it's at. In terms of unusual flows, these are the bigger puts that were entered. You can see here the expirations as well. There's a big one. There's the random call at 25 that's for ages for 662 premium. But these are the big ones that I took out of the private community. Notice the expirations, a lot expiring around the 27th. There's puts here. So these are the bigger unusual flow kind of positions. Very interesting. They're whacking it in at the 50. We also have a huge amount of calls, of course, versus puts. This is yesterday's premiums here. Notice how massive the amount of calls that were opened were. Premiums quite large for the AMC position flow. Of course, chatter for AMC and GME is through the roof. Makes sense. Again, this is something where you go over to StockTwits, you see that message volume crescendo. If price is continuing to come up and that message volume continues to increase, strong stuff coming out of the social arb there. And in terms of interest by strike, God knows why there's so many at 145. I don't know. But the strike, massive taking at about $40. So 40 will be the key kind of closure point for many people on AMC. Look at that strike there, guys. Open interest on strike, 40 is insane. Also, 49 is pretty high. And then next up, we've got those 70s to 100 ranges. Some pretty big stuff. Some pretty big stuff there. Okay, keep going. I did say we have to do this quickly today, guys. We've got Enphase moving towards the 176 yesterday. During the end of the stream, I kind of said, nice work, Enphase. It hit a zone. It hit a level that we had put up, and you could see the reversal that occurred off that. Now, that's fine. I mean, that's just what I was looking for in terms of this type of trade. That's the type of thing that you are looking for. It's rejected that area now, and it's created a little bit of a pin bar or shooting star, if you want to use the technical term. Now, you don't just short this type of stock, because I'm not a big fan of actually shorting positions in the market. For most people, it's you got to be like this, very fast, very quick. Shorting indices is one thing. Shorting specific stocks, you can get in a lot of damage. So yeah, in this case, if it does close above the 176, I'm incredibly excited to be back in Enphase, and I'll take that thing all the way up into the 190. But it hasn't happened yet, so we're looking for how it reacts now. And I just wanted to show this to people so you can see that resistance or support becomes resistance area, how key it is sometimes to scale out or to have a plan and then to initiate that plan. It is pretty damn important. All right. Kevin N says, meme stocks are hot potatoes. You never want to hold them too long. Yeah. Look at SPCE. Oh, SPCE, bad stuff. Makes me sick. Makes me sick, that thing. So we've got range-bound indices, US 100, US 500, fairly range-bound, coming in basically with a zero here into the market open. We'll skip over to crypto quickly. I just wanted to talk about this. Bitcoin looking almost shaky here. Let's go to the 8-hour. Oh, just a little bit further down here on the 8-hour, and I feel like we rally down, or we move down to 46. Now, I wouldn't mind for Bitcoin to buy off around this zone. 46-ish would be where I'd like to see it bought off. So have a look here, 200 daily and the 20. What do you guys think about this? Will Bitcoin come down to 46,000 today? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, Ethereum also will take a dive with that if it occurs. Ethereum hits the 20 moving average, could possibly even get as low as 29. It is possible. But Bitcoin, really, it's about the 46, I feel. That's a key zone, and I will be watching that like a hawk. I got alerts set, guys. Alerts are set if it happens. Ruby says, hope pins goes back to the 70s. Well, let's have a look at pins for you there, Ruby. So pins 55. Let me pull the data from the room here for a second. Just quickly get that. Algo flow pretty strong yesterday from pins, matching the price, which is good. You can see here the algo flow came through. That's not too bad. It's the type of thing you want to see. If we go back over to the stock, still underneath the 55. So we know there's a lot of puts here. Puts at 50, puts at 55. That forms a base for the stock to start to bounce off. It's not unknown that it has bad earnings and then it has a rally down. In fact, you could almost take the distance of how many candles down here, take the distance for how many candles down here, and you'll find that a lot of the times these things work in synergies with each other. So I would be looking now for a lightning bolt style trade. What we want is something similar to happened over here. Trough, peak, higher trough, higher peak. Let's go. That's what we want on pins. Currently, we have nothing. We have a bit of a rally. We need pullback. This would be ideal if this occurred. Movement up, bam. Okay, bam. Don't worry, I'm watching pins. I'm interested. I'm interested in a lot of these stocks that are hated by people right now. I feel like a lot are overpriced, and then there's some that are hated with, mighty passion. Intel is hated with a mighty passion, yet it's starting to get a little bit of interest in it. We've got here a 55 kind of breakout zone, 54.50. This area here, I'll be watching it. Don't worry about that. It might be hated, but I don't really care. I just want to see recovery price action. Let's continue through. We've got NVAX stuck in the range between two zones. This is still a risky play. Obviously, a 258 will let it be free, and it's currently trading around that kind of roll reversally area. We're stuck in this range here. NVAX, certainly a very explosive stock if it gets off, but people are starting to cool down off it. It's really all about announcements here. Announcements for the EU zone, those types of things will occur. What else did we have happen yesterday? We had some big moves through the Chinese stocks. Got Roblox also breaking out very strongly. That was a pretty good trade. We did alert and talk about that one yesterday, I believe. And what was the other one I was looking at still recently? PayPal coming up to the key resistance of 280. I'd like to see a closure above there. Might be one to watch through the next session. Could be very, very good. And we had some others. Let me just look here. Gee, someone gave me a stock. Tencent had a good channel on it. If you're interested in channels, hasn't broken through, but that was a good one. Someone gave me a stock today, and I looked at it and I went, man, that was good. And now, oh, that's right. Splunk. It did it, guys. Look at that. Inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, Splunk. 5% day to get through. Might have a breather here, but in terms of where it's been at 220 before, where it is now, closing through the daily. I would just love for this stock just to come down here, hit these resistances, and slam off that. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be sweet. William Crest says, I love watching you chart. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you very much. Scott Morgan, ABNB. Yep, that was another one. Exploded out. I don't want to buy it on the explosion. It's a company I kind of want to own, but it's a company that I know, like, it's still less than a year, Scott. It's still less than a year. I can't go back on it. All right. I'm not touching you, Airbnb, but for others, beautiful channel breakout. Lightning bolt too. Trough, high peak, higher trough, boom, straight through. I would be looking for a pullback back down to this level here, 155. We know that Airbnb tends to have a little bit of a sleep after it moves up on a big move like that. I would really like that level, though. 154 from a technical base, educational standpoint. All right. And you know what? It's coming back in the list. A, B, and B. I'm back here. We're just going to bring that over there. Thank you very much. Nice. JD had a good day yesterday. Yeah, a lot of the Chinese Futu did as well. JD had the best technical. We saw the base. We saw that bullish hammer come through. The next day, it went crazy. If you like JD and you like these Chinese stocks all of a sudden, you're looking for a pullback back down to this level, which is around 72.50. So 72.50 gets hit. That would be a really, really, really great zone. I would like to see it come back down to the 72.50. Find previous resistance as support. It's kind of similar to the Tencent kind of position in terms of there's great technicals here on some of these Chinese stocks. If Tencent can get through the 493, it could really rally to like a 570 level as well. But do you want to take the risk? That's up to you guys. I don't know whether you like to take these types of risks, geopolitical and everything. Bases are getting better. Even the volume recently starting to improve. So a lot of stuff. Tom, why the hell would you put Airbnb above DKNG? It's not in the level of liking it, man. All right, here you go. Look, there you go. You happy? DKNG, there you go. It's not... well, it's got a good technical on it, so DKNG can be there now. That's all good. We've checked out pins, FAFP44. Scroll back about 5 minutes. We did check that out. And then Sean Tay says, Futu, please. Yeah, Futu was another one we bought on the charts. It's good. Closed above. That's key. 20 moving average still holding it a bit down. If you're liking the Futu, ultimately you need to break this zone. I wouldn't be unopposed to saying, okay, a pullback back to here. Let me just line it up correctly for you guys. There we are. Oh, it Actually, it's probably about there. So about this $100. If what is it now? 102.50 in the pre. So it comes down to 100. I'd scroll down small time frame and look for little lightning bolt, little reversal pattern, bullish hammer, engulf, whatever you like. That's the type of area you want it. And when you feel really great about the world is when you get through the 20 moving average, because then you're allowing 117 to 120 to be opened up for your participation. And these Chinese stocks really could come alive. This is still in a downtrend. So don't forget, it's still in a downtrend. Big hype yesterday doesn't lead to a full recovery. This is what happens in these types of stocks. This is what happens. Do you still cover TNX and TLT? Yeah, I still cover TLT, but it's pretty low in terms of movement. So if we have a look here, not much to really report from TLT, really. That's why I don't cover it. I cover stocks as they come through or commodities as they come through. You notice I left oil for a few weeks, then came back with a massive flash because it was getting exciting. AMC, I almost covered it heavily yesterday. That was a bit of a mistake, should have. But anyway, the point is that things come back into the rotation when they're worth talking about. This one here, not really doing that much. I mean, we've got our trend line. We know what it's dealing with. We know we want it above 151 again if you're bullish. And other than that, I just see it in a range that doesn't interest us. Jassa says, Square pullback with not so great result for the Oz company last night. Afterpay, yeah, Afterpay. They paid a lot for this, man. Like, you know how I feel about Square. Love the stock, love the idea. I think they kind of had to buy Afterpay to get into the buy now, pay later style. However, it's really about now, can Jack Dorsey implement it? Because he has a tendency to badly implement with Twitter. Twitter should be a lot bigger than it really is at this point. We got Ruby coming with a $5 donation. Thank you for all you do. Thoughts on AMD? Now, there's a stock that people don't talk about as much anymore. And it's probably because it's not really doing too much. AMD. Get rid of that for a second. Jeez, isn't that tough? Long leg doji, bull close, pull back to 106. Is that good enough? I mean, long leg doji is one thing, but you need a lot more. Weird weekly. 2 hour. Oh, 2 hour could be all right here. I don't mind this level on the top of the doji. Like right there, about 106.50, 106.25. Probably box it. Like create a little box there. Set alerts. And if I was day trading this, I would basically look for it to pull back into this zone. Little lightning bolt, little movement round, and then take it long back to maybe a 110 would be my plan with a small scale out at the peak. Good luck on this one. Not much, but I don't mind that zone. ACK already covered PayPal, just looking for a breakout above that resistance and closure. And then we should be looking at quite a lot of strength there. That would be sweet. Houston Vision says, it's actually difficult timing exits in a trade. Entry is quite simple thing. Hey, anyone can press a button, Houston Vision. Absolutely. I could say, hey, I buy Apple at 120. You'll eventually be right. The question is whether you want to, whether you're an investor, are you a hodler that just sits there with it, or are you somebody that actually trades? When do you get out? When do you scale out? Do you have a tendency to revenge trade? These are all things that go into the human psychology of what makes a good trader and a bad trader. And I think that's something we will really want to be looking at here. Deuce Wow says, cover SoFi, please. SoFi Technologies. We'll take a look. At resistance for me on this one, I clearly have this level for a reason. Let's go to the daily. Yeah. No. I need that closed above. Close above. Because you're basically picking up off, what was a monstrous capitulation down. It definitely weakened. You need it above that level, which is getting close, which would be sweet, but not enough just yet for that in terms of the SoFi. SW says EA, really? Running into its game yet? EA, what a hideous company this is. You know, if you're a gamer, you know it's a trash company, but they do know how to make some sweet cash. So they've been sitting here now since, is that right? Since August 20. Wow. Dead set. Making a series of almost higher lows. Let's go to the weekly. Ooh. I don't know if I really like the stock, but I do know that they've got Battlefield coming out later this year, and the COD looks terrible. So I think they'll sell some good units. Check, yeah. But from the perspective of TA, you're looking at a 150 closure to really start a nice rally here. Been sitting for a while though. Might be worthwhile setting alerts and checking it out. Georgiov, Rob Skinner knows what's up. BGN $5. CRSR has been destroyed by the naughty WSB for the past months. Company with great fundamentals but low volume makes it easy to manipulate thoughts. I think that if it has very little interest in it, of course, then yes, Wall Street can attack it. I mean, you would have to look at whether the fundamental value is cheaper to its peers. So I don't know what the value is here versus on Corsair versus others. So I know it's shorted. I know that Wall Street is attacking it. I also know that this is one of those stocks that tends to rally with crazy, retail. It's very pumpy dumpy from the Wall Street bets side. Yeah. How do I feel about it? You want to check Logitech. You want to check other peripheral device kind of manufacturers. If it does rally, be careful here for this level. But I can't tell you about the fundamental side. And when you're down here at this level, technically speaking, on the weekly, you don't have anything really that great to talk about just yet. Let's go to the daily. I don't know if I'd use that line. That's probably a bit fake. Fake line there, guys. Resistance, resistance, resistance on the 20 moving average. Now that closure above could be significant. It hasn't done it. 20 moving average is a key point. We're going into a height time for AMC here particularly. Movement up to the 30 could be really big deal. And then if it gets through there, you could be on for the rally. So this is one of those situations where you've got to go crunch the numbers fundamentally. And we'll be talking about that on the stream. I know I'm meant to do it. It's just there's always something else pretty exciting to talk about. Crunching the numbers here fundamentally, it could be a deep value opportunity for you, sir. A deep value. In terms of manipulation, yeah, the volume is hideous. And when no one's interested in something, it is easier for them to manipulate. Just look at GME. Believe me when I say every investment manager, every single person out there that was not retail and not, what started all of this, didn't like that stock. They didn't care. They were like, it's going to die. That they reversed it to the it's going to die park. And it didn't really matter about it. No one was interested because you couldn't tell a client to buy it. You know what I mean? So this could be a very similar situation from the perspective of it could be deep value and you might be spotting something before it happens. Deep value can take some time to come back through. Slobodan Diskoski, $1.99. Tom, can you check out C3AI earnings September 1? Been a while since we've done this stock. So this is the AI stock, yeah? Okay. September 1. Is this the stock? Why do I have earnings set for 36 days away? You say earnings September 1. All right, this must be wrong. Let's take a look. Weekly. Interesting. Not much going on yet. Still very weak, but this will be the it's false done it here though. Daily. Daily above the 20 is okay. Geez, man, you need more action. And if it's coming up to September 1st, I don't know if you're going to get it. So you need to see like 4-hour movement up, movement back down. You need lightning bolt. You need to be above this resistance, which is like 51, 52. It's pretty tough. It got through that at least, so that could just be that final shakeout. So there's your support. in the final shakeout. I want this above 52, get a lightning bolt, get recovery. That would be the way I'd look at it. Bradley Back says, trading view is always doji, or doggy in this case. He said, with earnings dates. It's been off more than it should. Yeah, it is off a few times. We have seen that. Souza said, morning, just joined. Did you do oil and oil stocks yet? We haven't done oil just yet, but the rally continues through with oil. No nasty or no nice pullback for oil buyers. It just keeps going. Big rally here, going for the 70, I guess, is the next zone of stoppage for oil. Could be good for energy stocks. Looks pretty good. I mean, on the charts, you got 4-hour rejection, follow through. That's pretty good. I mean, you got to think it is. Dollar index, one to watch as well today. You can see here the resistance that I've set. This fell to our trend line, bounced. This does not spot well necessarily for gold, so be careful there on the gold side. But if this closes above this area here, you'd think 93.20 and then hopefully back into the 93.60 strength coming out from the DXY. That'll be an interesting one. So the market in general, flat as a tack. If you looked at the indices, you'd be like, boring. But the interest is in the AMC, the GME, these squeeze stocks. I feel like GME could pull down to the 196-200 range. Look in that zone. Look for your TA. Find if anything does happen. And then from the perspective of the rest of the stocks, there are some that have rallied, some that are deeper value that people have forgotten about. They're starting to move a little bit. And in general, like the TDOCs of the world, this was forgotten about. Now it's rallying above. You can see it's starting to consolidate here. So once we get a closure above 146, closure could be a nice little slingshot trade here for the most. This is a hated stock, guys. I'll put it in perspective. $300 still trading 146 after all these rallies. When it's a dog of a stock, a bad stock. It's a bad stock, but there are some promising signs. Kathy Wood, more buying, and then possible follow through coming. So that's something to check out. We'll quickly bring up the Webull screener. Let's move over here to the full screen. Have a look at the pre-market changes. What have we got? We've got Okta, 4.22%. Intuit doing well as well. And then we've got Zscaler, CrowdStrike. That's crazy, that stock, how well it's doing. 267. On the negative side, we've got DoorDash, still struggling, but still holding around that 180, 185. Airbnb pulling back. Great breakout yesterday. Again, look for the retest of the previous peaks there for that stock if you like it. And a few other ones down. Unfortunately, guys, I am going to have to leave you before the open today. I know that is not normal. I do appreciate the 1,065 people that have joined us for this morning. And it's a bit of a shame that I can't take you through the entry, but I really can't today. Tomorrow we'll be coming back with the normal schedule 1 hour before. And I think there's some good stuff. Just to reiterate, things that are interesting. Splunk broke through. Look at the bigger timeframes there. Apple at the peak, at the tippity top. Look at the long leg doji on the weekly for the closure, so you know it's not a false break. Otherwise, we could even, this is the beginning of what could be a Wyckoff distribution. Remember, you got your false break here. If that came down, did that, all of a sudden you're looking at a Wyckoff distribution. So just remember, it's all about what does it end up doing, not where is it right now. It's at the tippity top resistance. All futures are flat as a tack, nothing interesting just yet. And we've trapped up that nasty NASDAQ. We've got that thing trapped between two zones, the resistance breakout, the support, and the US 500 has a really nice support or potential breakout on it to the low side at 44.80. Thanks very much, guys. We appreciate it. I do want to say a massive thank you to all the people that like and come to these streams each day. But as I said again, unfortunately today, I can't do the full thing. Tomorrow, straight back into it. No problems. Daily video, everything else that we do. And same with Friday. Have a great day. Have a great session. And we wish you all the best. And let's leave with some apes in the chat. We want apes all over the chat because I guess, someone's donated. 1 second. We have to do that. But I want apes in the chat. That'd be sweet. Aussie Cobber 71, Australian $5, over 1,000 people watching and only 217 likes. Tom does a lot of work to bring us these streams. Press the like button and show your support. Aussie Cobber, I want to say thank you very much for your support as well of the stream. I've seen you in here. I've seen you comment a lot. And I've seen you over in the Pepperstone ones as well. Great to have you in the community. And thank you again. All right, guys, get the apes out there. Good luck today in what is going to be probably a bit of a fierce market in these squeeze stocks. Be careful. I think it's all about looking at the small time frames, having a look at how it's trading through it. If you're in a private room, check out the algo flow as well. If the algo flow is going against you and yet the price is kind of hovering, that could be an early sign of, nasty Wall Street having an attack on the apes. But overall, the Wall Street guys, they were with you yesterday. I mean, you could see it. The flow was good. Where is my flow? The flow was good. No, that's the Tesla flow. Bad. There it is. The flow was pretty damn nice. Look at that. They even came in strong to the end of the day on AMC. So it really shows when the nasty Wall Street algorithms are with you, good things happen. Catch everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye for now.